So I was just going about my day, doom scrolling on YouTube, when all of a sudden my brain decided to go on a nostalgia trip and made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, longing to go back to the good old days when things were simpler. What specifically was I thinking about? Well, that thing was a song called Silent Hill Dubstep by someone called Jules123. I haven't played a single Silent Hill game, so why do I feel nostalgic about this song in particular? It's because the song was featured in a few prominent levels in Geometry Dash, such as Silent Hill by X8TX and Lava Temple by Michigan. As you notice, yeah, these levels are old and made during the 1.9 era, which is why I felt nostalgic for it. Back in 1.9, the main artists that dominated Geometry Dash levels, as far as I can recall, were artists such as Nightkiller, Extraler, Paragon X9, and Dimrain47. These artists made music that was primarily very fast-paced, heart-pumping, and sometimes even danceable. You have Paragon X9 making drum and bass tracks, Dimrain47 making dance/rave style music for the lack of a better term I guess, Nightkiller making very dark and raw dubstep tracks, and Extraler making very intense and blood-pumping complex dubstep music. These traits actually reflect on the levels that were popular back then, such as 9 Circles by Zobros, Chaos Impact by Darnock, and Windy Landscape by Woogie, to name a few. These levels are all colorful, flashy, and filled with energy, with a lot of color pulses to show off the addition of the 4 color channels back then. But what makes Silent Hill Dubstep stand out to me is that the song has a completely different vibe to it, a more horror and mysterious and lonely vibe. The song, for all its worth, is pretty basic. It has piano parts at the very beginning between the drops, which is accompanied by a very dark and unsettling ambient sounds in the background. The drop is also quite simple, containing dubstep growls and a crazy bass line that really accentuates the dark and evil energy that the song is trying to portray. Compared to the popular music back in 1.9, it isn't as upbeat and filled with energy as them, and it's also quite simple in terms of the instrumentals it used. But what makes this song special to me is the message it's trying to tell, the vibe it's going for. Everything else about your regular EDM track takes a back seat, while the vibe and energy of this song takes the helm and successfully tells a story to the listener quite well. With all of this in mind, now you understand how this song stands out to me, especially back in the day. The popular levels that this song is featured in isn't flashy and trying to look the best, but it's trying to build up ambience and a believable environment, which was quite rare for a 1.9 level, since most creators were still stuck with a general and basic creating mindset. Now, I'm not saying 1.9 levels are bad and bland. I mean, there were some bangers back in the day, but yeah, you can say that these levels were quite basic and vanilla, right? But even Lava Temple, though the environment featured in the level does not represent horror, I mean, it's based on lava, right? It still fits the music by trying to be mysterious and making the player feel lonely. So yeah, I know this video is just me yapping about some random song back in 1.9, but honestly the song brings so many good memories of the good old days. A simpler time in Geometry Dash history, a time you will never get or replicate. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening to me talking about it. Yeah, thanks for watching.